Okay, so I'm making a centerpiece, Summer Chic. We're using this Holly Chappel Cermic Compote. Comes in different sizes. I did use Oasis. This is July, very, very hot. And it's, I'm just finding out it's becoming quite a mess with the chicken wire. So, I'm making 12 of these. I've done about 6. The first one's always different from the last. I start with a recipe and end up doing a little bit more. My candlelight roses turned out a little more yellow than what I'd want. They were supposed to have like more of a peachy, and it got kind of yellow. So these are going to be my base. Asymmetrical. Take the biggest one in the center. I don't like to do a production line because I feel like everyone is different and I want to give it its attention to create the art. I want some on the edge to stay tighter. For the ones in the center, I want to blow them open. Some people twirl them. I find that blowing them open works a lot faster and not so damaging. They kind of just mirror each other, giving myself a frame. So since I'm trying to hide the yellow, I am rolling them. Take off any guard petals. They're brown and they look gross. I try to take them off all the time. Sometimes the heat and the wind, you can't help it. They'll get damaged. So these are Playa Blancos, really, really small. We got flowers in on a Tuesday, really fresh after 4th of July. And the wedding is tomorrow on a Thursday. So they really only had one day to process and kind of open. So honestly, by Sunday, as long as water stays in this Oasis, these guys will look really pretty. And I was thinking that, you know, I beat myself up because I try to go foam free, but when it comes to event work and in the heat and and in travel, it's really way more efficient, and everything comes out nicer with Oasis. And if you water it, it's going to last longer. So doing stuff every day at home, yeah, that's great. Let's do it all foam free and cautious for the earth. But this, I guess, is going to take it home. You don't want water ruining their car. These are little Versil. I don't know. I don't care for them. They're really not an open rose. It looks like a grocery store rose, but they give a little bit of color, so we're just giving it a hint. And we're mirroring the color. Anyways, back to eco-friendly. For home stuff, yes, let's reuse and recycle, but when it comes to an event and you're spending a lot of money, there is times that it does call for it, and it's going to last longer. And you know, most of the time, even with recycling methods here in our cities, they don't have the right methods to recycle properly, so they're not going to do it anyways. It's really kind of crazy. I don't know all the correct terminology. We have some sweet peas. And these I want to give some shape. I really want to be out there. Still nothing that's going to bother the guest. You want to think that your elbow is on the table and nothing above your wrist, really. Shouldn't go above your wrist, but you can have some wispies out here that won't bother guests too bad. You don't want them moving the centerpieces. It causes a mess. There's so much going on the table, especially if you have numbers and glasses and saute dishes and dipping sauces. So these are American grown sweet peas. I've never worked with them before, but they seem pretty hardy. They are a little brown in the centers. I imagine just because they're natural American here, that we don't do the same genetic stuff as, say, the Japanese ones. So they're gonna look more natural. You're gonna find the damages. All these roses here I've already used are all imported, which is really sad, but I am going to start pricing and really doing more American grown product. That's going to be a must. You know, as far as design, sometimes I am going to try to create without using foam, and I want to get better about selling myself without foam. But I do need money, and I have to be realistic, and I have to take the jobs like this one where the client deserves some quality art. I'm using less product. This will hold water during travel. They can add water to it. It'll last days. You use less product. I don't know if I said that. I have some seeded youth. I was trying to go without any greens at all, but it's impossible for me because I am a very wispy greeny girl. But this little look is giving me an excellent texture. Bigger holes, but also accenting the elongated pieces. Since I wasn't doing much greens, I only had a couple bunches of this, so I'm being very, very stingy. That's why if you add it in last, you can accent it as part of your design. And even using these leaves, like taking a stick. This has really nice leaves on there, and we're just cutting the tip off, cutting it down, and then you have this as a little accent with its own little pick. And you can just tuck in a hole here. Like this, such a nice accent. I really keep everything, even for myself, if there's leftover little tidbits. In the bathroom, even perfect leaves like this, you can stick that right into the Oasis. Another part of using everything. Hold your design. Okay, so this is my recipe. I have a couple majority of, I only had a couple of each thing, where I have some peach carnations that I have a lot. So we bought these as filler for the color, the pop. It's like a terracotta peach. I'm pulling back the little green labels just a little bit. It helps kind of fluffing it, because these are so tight. Everything's so fresh and so tight. Usually they have a couple days to open and they can fill out really nice. But we're just making it like a little explosion. And I cringe if you tell me you don't like carnations, because they are absolutely beautiful. I didn't show you the blush ones. It's these here. They're big brute ones. See how big that is? Those are older, so they've had time to open. Carnations last forever. Now, I wouldn't do this if you wanted them to last weeks. I would let them open naturally. But since I need them to fill these holes, I want them to explode like that. And they're just giving me that pop. I'm not ripping it all the way down. I'm just pulling it back some. You can. I've seen people go all the way down, but I don't like how flimsy it becomes, so I like to keep that base all intact. And you can also edit your arrangement. Like right here, all the leaves were tucked in. So if you pull all those leaves out, because this color, this sagey color, gives such a pop to that peach. It's the one thing I was taught with Oasis, and it's the one thing that I feel like my designs look good when you're creating a piece like this. These are from Holland. They're imported lisianthus, which have a beautiful center. Like if they wanted to reflex them, these are some that are amazing to reflex. But because we're trying to keep this really muted pale, I'll keep them closed. These guys are perfect. Like that's the perfect color. Some things I order, and then things like this you just have to search, because to find that color it's really hard. I'm not sure about these little green guys, but the little buds are kind of really chartreuse. And it's brown. See all this little brown? Sometimes that's not natural, but it's pretty. So, I'll keep a little vase with broken stuff in here, and I just make as I go, so that way I can put it around the house and enjoy for myself. And that's a good way when you have a damaged flower to see how long something lasts, if it's worth keeping. So I got some tweedia. I got it from a box. I'm thinking I didn't get enough time to hydrate because it's wilting. I'm not sure. So I'm going to add one just because I'm showing you, but I'm going to wait on the rest of the centerpieces and add these tomorrow on site. See if they hydrate. I'd rather add a few pieces on site to accent instead of taking off something that looks dead later. You know, pulling something out, then you have some holes and you're trying to fix it. So, see, if I was to go like this right now, it'd be fine, but tomorrow I'll come in and I'll add some little spots like this. Tweedia is very milky. It's itchy. It usually bothers me. I try to wash my hands. But you can cut this off. You can even save the leaves here. These are really pretty to accent. Thank you. Did you get food?
Yeah, here's yours because
set it over there.
Yours came out.
Okay, thank you.
It does it so much faster than all this other.
I try to get the little blooms to accent the holes while you're filling the space. And like this one, I can cut down. I've been using a knife a long time, so a lot of people have to use the clippers. Small pieces like this, I have to put it down a lot, but usually I'm a lot faster with the knife. I have noticed since my eyesight started going, I'm slowing down, but that's a shame, getting old. It's a lot nicer though to slow down. I've worked my whole life brushing. I want to slow down and create and make this beautiful, so when the guests are sitting at the table, they're like, oh, look it, look it, look at it. So pretty. So pretty. So this is like my 10th one. And let me see my first one. This was my first one. I came in and I added greens. Such a difference. Definitely not as full, but this was my recipe. This was how I thought I could make it.